already did it twice for your first book. We had 4 people the first time, 8 people another time. We can do something like that at a bar or pub or something like
absolutely.
that. Maybe even here, who knows? Now that they have a back room or something like that, we can have like a 2-hour session. Hi, welcome to BlackCoffeePoet.com and the Black Coffee Poet YouTube channel. My name is Jorge Antonio Vallecos, and I am here with Daniel Heath Justice, citizen of the Cherokee Nation. He is a writer and a professor, and we're here today to celebrate his new book, Why Indigenous Literatures Matter. Welcome, Daniel.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. Okay, so recently in a CBC podcast, Unreserved, you were interviewed by Rosanna Deerchild, and you said something that was so awesome. You said, Indigenous literatures matter because we matter. Can you expand, please?
Well, it's actually the giveaway for the whole book. It's the last line in the book. Because I think so often we work with the reality in this country and in North America and elsewhere that Indigenous peoples are not meaningful or significant. I mean, I think a lot of people have that, non-Indigenous people have that idea that indigeneity is something confusing or something backwards or something always measured by deficit. And I think for us, one of the really important things to remember is that we do matter because we belong to these places and because we're human beings with complex cultures and diverse experiences and a lot of love and a lot of strength and courage. And our nations have survived catastrophic impacts. And that's all worthy of attention and recognition and respect. And so when we're talking about our literary productions, our works matter because we matter. We're important in this world. We're important to this world, to one another. And our work should be treated with respect because of that.
The title is really strong. The title is true. The title holds a lot of responsibility.
Yes.
Is this the hardest book you've ever written?
Yes, absolutely. After I got the contract for it and after I started writing it, I was actually quite intimidated by the title. I was quite late getting the manuscript in, partly because I thought, well, who am I, first of all, to say why these literatures matter, but also how do I do this? How do I even approach this? When we have thousands of writers and innumerable works that stretch from our oral traditions all the way to today, thinking about the future, how do I do this? And I think I finally just focused on particular questions I wanted to explore, not with any particular answers, but with keeping it open-ended and asking questions that I thought really mattered to readers and to writers, but not trying to be, not trying to have a firm, clear answer that people would always be able to go to, but asking meaningful questions so that readers could figure that out on their own.
Something I really like about the book is you really acknowledge those that came before us. Specifically for me, what I would call maybe like our grandmothers of writing, like Christos, Beth Brandt, Lee Miracle, people who are still here, some who are not. And they've been doing this work for so long, and it seems like things are now slowly changing. We live now in the land now known as Canada, and with a long publishing history that has not been diverse,
right.
Which is why I think this book is so timely and important. Where do you think we are? And if people have been doing this for a long time, and now you're here with this really important book, Canadian literature, as that's the short form for it, still has problems. Where do you think we are, and where do you think we'll be? In maybe 25, 50 years.
We'll still be here. I know that. We'll still be producing really astonishing works of art and challenging works of art. I think we're in a really interesting place right now because people are listening, both Indigenous and non-Indigenous. I mean, our audiences are getting much more diverse. We're starting to do a lot more intersectional work. We're starting to connect more with other communities in really meaningful ways. But I think one danger we always have is forgetting where we came from. This is a youth-obsessed culture, and the new voices are always getting encouragement, which I think is important, but we can't forget the people who sacrificed a huge amount to get us to the place we are And even today, Canadian literature still so often privileges just a few voices. Very often, historically men, that's changing. And that's done often to the exclusion of other really important voices who maybe are more challenging to Canadian nationalism, but deserve to be heard even more because of that. So I think we're always going to see struggle. We're always going to be pushing against the boundaries of the nation state as long as it exists. But I think we're in a really good position, not just to be trying to find space on the CanLit shelf, but to have shelves of our own. And for CanLit to maybe be looking for inclusion in our canon. And this goes back to what Craig Wolbeck, a Muskogee Creek writer, said years ago in the States, that the American canon, we aren't part of the American canon. The American canon is part of ours.
Nice.
Because we are the trunk. We're not the leaves. And I feel the same way with Canada. So I think things are shifting. And I do feel, even when I start to despair because of horrors in the news and the political situation in this country and retrenchment and reactionary politics, our strength hasn't diminished. If anything, I think we're growing stronger. I'm not originally from Canada. I'm from the States, but it's the same all over the place. Anywhere Indigenous peoples are, we're in resurgence, and that makes me very happy.
Awesome. This book started out as a blog post.
It did, yeah.
And now it's a whole book.
Yes.
So there's a lot of Indigenous bloggers out there, or just Indigenous writers who are having a hard time getting their book. Can you just talk about the process a little bit?
Of this book or just writing?
This book from a blog post to a book.
So a student of mine, Christine Smith, at U of T, years ago, she started a blog, and she asked me to write on this topic. She gave me the topic, and I said, sure. And it was actually kind of interesting because I'd never answered this elemental question, right? Why do these literatures matter? I kind of worked with the assumption that people would just know that the literatures matter. And so I really had to answer that question. And it was a great exercise, but that question kept with me. And I was thinking about future projects, and I thought, actually I want to expand on that a bit. And the blog post and the book are very, very different. They're connected, certainly, but I think the blog post was more, I had firm answers, and I really wanted to ask compelling questions instead. And so that's where the book really came in, was asking the questions and bringing these various writers and texts in to explore those questions, these big questions about life and belonging and connection. So it was a really neat experience to go from the blog to the actual book itself.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Any last words?
No, I really appreciate the opportunity to talk about the book, and especially to talk about it with you, because we've talked for many years. We've been friends and colleagues as writers for many years, and it means a lot to me to have the opportunity to sit here with you and celebrate your great achievements, and also to celebrate this book with an Indigenous writer whose work I find really important and compelling, and I'm looking forward to your books too.
Thank you very much. So make sure you get the book Why Indigenous Literatures Matter, published by Wilfrid Laurier University Press and written by Daniel Heath Justice. Buy the book for somebody. Share the book. Do a book club. This is a really important book. Indigenous Literatures Matter. I'd also like to acknowledge that we did this interview at the Glad Day Bookshop in Toronto. It's the oldest queer and trans bookstore in the world. It's also a coffee shop. Come to Glad Day. And please, add me on Twitter at Black Coffee Poet. Check out blackcoffeepoet.com and the Black Coffee Poet YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us today.
That was awesome.
Thank you very much.